we have Steve Kerschke here from QLI. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Great. So I brought you on because you have a unique experience with Comp Laude and your involvement. But before we go on, tell us a little bit about you and what you do for the industry.
Well, I work for a company called QLI based in Omaha, Nebraska. We're a nonprofit post-acute provider for folks with brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, other catastrophic injuries such as amputations, as well as a small chronic pain program. So we're glad to be a part of an industry that takes good care of the injured workers that we serve. As far as me, I have a background in physical therapy, so I've lived on the clinical side of things, but currently live on the business side and work with our marketing teams to build relationships with our national payer sources and other industry leaders around the country.
So what made you and QLI attend the Comp Laude?
Honestly, just the organization that puts it on. You guys do a great job of coordinating the event. It's well run, so we always choose events that we feel like are organized and have good attendance. So that's the first thing. And along with the attendance, just the quality of people there. It's a great place to interact and network. Also talk about trends within the industry, and we're such a curious group here at QLI, so it's an opportunity for us to learn from other providers, from other carriers, and figure out how we can continue to be innovative within workers' compensation.
So we talked about the unique experience and one that you've had. Last year you traveled with Seth, who was one of our injured worker finalists. Tell us about the whole experience from him learning that he was a finalist and coming to San Diego, the travel, and then being at the event.
You know, for Seth, this was an opportunity to really travel for the first time since he had his injury. He has a spinal cord injury. He actually came to us from Portland, Oregon. And so he hadn't really been on a plane much. And I think it was actually the first time he had traveled outside of Portland to get to Omaha. And so just travel in general was something that he was excited. And he's a pretty adventurous guy. So he's excited to come see San Diego. And for us, it was an opportunity to recognize him for the hard work that he has put in. He's made a ton of progress and now lives independently. So it was a great way for us to showcase that for him, and also just a nice opportunity to continue his learning and help him figure out what is it like to travel with an injury, and then help him see that even with an injury, he can go and explore and see a new city that maybe he hasn't been to before. So for him, you know, we got to San Diego, and honestly, we were planning to host him most of the weekend. But he was off on his own and said, you know, you guys are good. You got plenty of things to do on your own. And he was able to roll around the city, and he had already found some specific things that he wanted to go see, and he was able to do that. And it was something that I think is pretty memorable for him, and he would say the same thing. At the same time, we were able to take him out to dinner and be hosts to him, and I think he also enjoyed interacting with a lot of the industry professionals while he was there too.
Have you learned anything from Seth in his experience and any of the injured workers? Maybe there's a story that sticks out with you at QLI that maybe you want to share.
We learn from them every day. I had the opportunity to spend a lot of time with the residents that we have here at QLI, especially with Seth. So I was actually just with Seth the other day. Seth has become a mentor here at QLI, and he's working with another young gentleman who has a spinal cord injury. And he has befriended him and joined a lot of his therapy sessions. And so I had the opportunity to hop in and just to watch Seth and his attitude. He's positive, but he's also just been really resilient. And it's admirable to see someone go through something like that and be so positive and have such a good outlook on life. So it's something for me that provides a lot of perspective whenever, you know, I wake up and maybe I'm not having the greatest day, or, you know, wish something was different within my life. I have the opportunity to interact with folks like Seth and puts things into perspective, like I mentioned. And, you know, I've been able to gain a lot of friends who are actually residents at QLI, and they end up coming and working for us and finding different ways to find purpose in their world. So that's been pretty fun too.
Awesome. All right. Well, last year, QLI was a winner of a Comp Laude Award as service provider. How did that feel?
Amazing. You know, it's always good to be honored for your hard work. And, you know, I was fortunate enough to be able to go to the gala and accept the award on behalf of QLI. But the fun part really is to come back and celebrate with all your coworkers. And a lot of times I get the opportunity to talk about QLI, and luckily we have a good story to tell because of all the good people that we have working here at QLI. And so it makes it a bit easier when you're talking about something, and you can be proud about everything that's going on, and you can be genuine about it too, because it's a really cool place. And again, to be recognized and in the company of some other great winners, not only last year but in past years, it's pretty cool to be a part of that. So just thankful to everyone on you within your organization and on your team, and excited to come back again this year. This will be our third year in a row that we're coming back to be a part of the event, and excited to see and celebrate with a lot of the winners this year too.
Awesome. Well, we're so excited to have you. But what is something about the event that would help them overcome their should I go?
Well, there's lots of reasons to go. One of the things that stuck out last year was the keynote speaker. I think you guys knocked that one out of the park, honestly. I've used his aspects of his presentation. So his name is Ben Nemtin, and his story was incredible. He's an incredible storyteller. And so first and foremost, I would encourage people to go check out his story. But I'm excited to see what you guys have this year when it comes to keynotes and speakers. Of course, I've looked at the agenda, but there's always more to the story than that. So I'm excited to see the content and be a part of that. And I'm sure you guys have some great surprises for us this year.
We do. It's a big name to us, or it's something that's important to me that we haven't had in a couple years, and it's the Injured Worker Panel. So that's what we're highlighting as our keynote, because I do think they're having 3 individuals on the stage that are the people that we interact with every day, giving them maybe to tell their story. So we're kicking off Comp Laude Day with the Injured Worker Panel. So I think people are going to really like it. We had an Injured Worker Panel a couple of years ago, and people just walked out of there reminded that there's faces behind the cases that you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited about that, and that kicks off Comp Laude Day. So that's the keynote.
Sounds like a good kickoff, and I'd agree. It's always cool to see the stories or hear the stories about each injured worker, and we interact with a lot of folks who really see these folks just as names on paper, and when they get to learn about their story and get to know them personally, it means a lot to them, and in a lot of ways it shows them that their hard work is paying off. So I think that's a cool addition to the gala.
Yeah, thanks. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time this morning. It's been a pleasure. It's always good to see you. If you want to learn more about the Comp Laude event, go to www.complaude.com, and all the information is there, the agenda, the nominees and finalists, and just everything you need to know about the event. And we look forward to seeing you September 23rd through the 25th in Huntington Beach, California at the Paseo Spa and Hotel.